I am Karen Cole, and I'm the Global Manager of Customer Program Implementation at Next Year Automotive. I graduated from the MSOL program. Didn't realize that we were so few. I feel special, thank you. And I graduated in July of 2018. The MSOL program took me on what I call a fascinating journey of discovery. Starting with the very first course, I dug deep. Very shortly after beginning the program in 2016, I knew that a change would be coming very soon because I was looking for one. Something was driving me from within, and I was able to make a connection very early on that strengthened me and encouraged me to step away from what I had always done and step into something much bigger. For a long time, I highly valued my ability to get tough stuff done. The things that nobody else seemed to be able to do or nobody else wanted to do, regardless of the approach that I used to do it. Head down, push through, get it done. At that time, I already held a position in leadership. I thought that I had achieved the goal that I set out for a long time ago. I had obtained the title. However, my methods for having such high-performing teams certainly were not always worthy of a leadership title. This was becoming very clear as I was studying it in the MSOL program, and it quickly became very unsettling to me. I started to see leadership in a different light than I had ever done before. My thinking was shifting from a very task-oriented nature, by which I mean hard work, long hours, do it yourself to get the experience, increase your value, keep your head down, and keep pushing. Instead, it was shifting toward relationship-oriented, which at the time, I admit, I had no idea what that meant. I did not understand it, but I knew enough to know that I was being drawn to it, and it appeared to be a way more enjoyable way to get things done than what I had been doing. People were becoming more valuable than just getting their task lists completed for me on time. Huh? What was happening? Task versus relationship? How? Who? What? What do I do with this? There's something here, something about people, something about interaction and connection that I did not get. All I understood at the time was that I was drawn to the topic of leadership, and ultimately, that is why I selected the MSOL program. I needed to know what organizational leadership was, and how was it different from what I was doing. From my perspective, relationships were for personal time. None of that had any place at work. In fact, I had been burned by that exact thing before, so certainly I had built some pretty high walls. I was protecting myself from repeating that type of mistake. I had cut vulnerability from my professional life entirely. And when you make such significant efforts to never let anyone in, then guess what? No one ever gets in. Relationships were not built on anything more than check marks on task lists. And even the highest performance results seemed like it wasn't enough. There was no satisfaction. There was no significance. There was only a constant search for the next task list. As a result of the newfound unsettling realization and mixed feelings that I had at all times, I had to dig in even deeper. I needed to realign my thinking and my actions with my core values, which meant that I needed to dust those things off and bring them back out for a little analysis. Recognizing and reprioritizing the things that I value right down to the core was difficult. It was revealing, it was embarrassing, it was vulnerable, and it was amazing. In some ways, I just needed to stop and think. Maybe a little course correction here or there, but in other ways, I had become completely misguided, and my values had morphed into excellent at any cost. I started to make the shift from a task-oriented manager, excellence, achievement, preparedness, commitment, and accountability, over towards a relationship-oriented leader, which to me means mindfulness, acceptance, empathy, balance, and personal development. This brought much alignment to my life in more ways than just my work. By the way, my husband thanks you, Northwood. In fact, I dare say that this was equally as important in my personal life as it was in my professional life. I can finally give you personal examples of real work-life balance. It does exist, and it's awesome. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that excellence, achievement, preparedness, commitment, and accountability are not important, because I still believe that they are. But what I have come to realize is that those are not the core values that I want driving my behavior. Instead, it turns out that they have become results from building strong, healthy, high-value relationships in the first place. With this thought shift in place, those excellence results are given to you. They are gifted to you from your followers. You're no longer demanding them and pulling them. They are gifted to you. And that's a beautiful thing. With a shift in focus to the driving behaviors of mindfulness, acceptance, empathy, consistency, and balance, I have found joy in leadership without sacrificing high performance or lowering my expectations. The results are just as good as what I was getting before, but the process of doing it is so much better. During my time in the MSOL program, I stepped out of my comfort zone, completely out of my comfort zone, might I add, and accepted a very different but challenging global position within my company. My organization and I both still value my ability to consistently get the tough stuff done. However, there's so much more to leadership and the process of leadership that I was missing out on, without even realizing that it was there for me to have and to enjoy. Now, in order for me to truly authenticate for myself what I'm sharing with you tonight, I must admit that I am not perfect at this yet. Maybe I'm not even good at it yet, but I'm aware of it, and I know that I'm capable of being a great leader. And I'm committed to practicing it every day. In summary, with DeVos, I learned key leadership concepts throughout the entire MSOL program, which have been very influential in my professional development. This program truly reshaped the way I think about leadership. It heightened my state of organizational and self-awareness, and changed the way that I define my responsibilities every day in my job. Northwood helped me discover my true north, which is leadership based on strong, healthy, high-value relationships at all levels of an organization. And for that, I am truly blessed. Thank you.